Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Massey Antonio. I'm the Chief Workforce Officer for the Advanced Robotics for Manufacturing Institute. I'm here with one of my colleagues, John Zappa, the Director of Product Management, and Jesse Cardoza, the Human Resources Manager at Amcor. First of all, the ARM Institute, let me tell you a little bit about us and a little bit about Amcor before we jump into our session. So the ARM Institute is part of a national program called Manufacturing USA. We're one of 17 institutes focused on securing U.S. global leadership in advanced manufacturing by connecting people, ideas, and technology. The ARM Institute is focused on robotics, automation, and artificial intelligence related to the in-demand careers and manufacturing. And as I said, we're here, and I'm delighted to welcome Jesse Cordova. He is with Amcor, and he's the head of their human resource management. Amcor is a global packaging company, and it develops and produces flexible packaging, rigid containers, specialty cartons, closures, and services. They work across many industries such as food, beverage, pharmaceutical, medical device, and home and personal care. We've had the pleasure of working with Jesse and his advanced manufacturing team at Amcor on their staffing challenges. And so what we hope to bring today in this session is all of those key competencies that we're seeing emerge, and those competencies which are going to lead students into these in-demand careers. And then we'll show you a little bit about how students can begin preparing for these careers. As I'm sure you've heard over the other sessions the last few weeks, there are a number of challenges to filling those current jobs, and even greater challenges building a cadre of future workers. Our team today will baseline some of these key challenges, and we'll add some key successful solutions related to addressing the skills gap for manufacturing workforce. So you might ask, why is this important? First of all, the technologies are changing so fast that we need to ensure the workforce stays on pace with those changes. Related to advanced manufacturing, the jobs simply don't look like they used to. So we want to help to make connections for the workforce, the emerging workforce, to key resources. And then finally, the third reason that this is important is that advanced manufacturing jobs are actually on the upswing, and they are not like the manufacturing jobs of old. They're no longer dirty, dull, or dangerous, but they're really exciting new careers in manufacturing. So the key here for this session is, with this widening skills gap, you are not going to be able to fill the positions with just upskilling or hiring people who are in the current workforce. So we want to address some opportunities earlier in your cycles and help to leverage the STEAM curricula earlier for these potential workers. So I'm going to start with Jesse. And my first question for you, Jesse, is, in your role as Human Resources Manager, can you help share with our audience some examples of the careers and pathways specific to Amcor?
Yeah, definitely. And I can expand a little bit more on Amcor as well. So we're a global leader in developing and producing responsible packaging, like you said, for food, beverage, pharmaceutical, home, medical, personal care, among other products. We were the first packaging company to pledge to make all of our products recyclable or reusable by 2025. Our winning aspiration is in becoming the leader in global packaging in terms of our company. Being Amcor defines who we are as a company, what is most important, and what success looks like for our stakeholders. The three parts of being Amcor: our winning aspiration, our essential capabilities of the Amcor way, and our values. At Amcor, we are roughly about 46,000 employees and have a strong geographic diversification with over 225 facilities around the globe. In the US, we have two main groups. We have Flexibles, North America, and Rigid Packaging. That employs over about 10,000 colleagues across 59 locations. In our pursuit of our winning aspiration, Amcor Flexibles North America, or AFNA, began a new initiative called Advanced Manufacturing. That is led by Gregorio Bellendran. This initiative has an aspiration to evolve Amcor's manufacturing facilities into world-class manufacturing facilities with leading-edge technologies empowered by a thriving culture in a relentless pursuit for safety, customer experience, and winning customer value equation. As this initiative has gained momentum, like you had mentioned, the demand for higher skilled workforce is becoming a dire situation for our success, especially when it is in regards to this transformation. AFNA's focus is on upscaling, also empowering and retaining our people to unitize our latest technologies and processes in order to become successful as we transform to meet demand. So having a solid technical aptitude, knowledge of critical thinking methodologies taught through STEM curriculums such as engineering, in combination with soft skills, will really help people be successful here at Amcor. Adaptability and the ability to learn are also keys to success. If your background is math and you know data analytics, you definitely can find yourself as an engineering tech within our advanced manufacturing team running, say, robot cell simulations, justifying project ROI, while you're gaining exposure to automation as a whole and some engineering facets.
So, Jesse, when you are looking for the folks who will be coming in and taking some of these in-demand jobs, can you share with us some of the human resource challenges that you've run into?
Yeah, definitely. Challenges that we have in terms of talent attraction has been an uphill battle even before COVID. Finding talent with the backgrounds in automation, tech, and engineering has been especially difficult. At any given point in time here, there's about 50 to 80 salaried positions needed within our network. And for hourly tech positions and maintenance positions, even just this last week, we had over 220 openings nationwide. The pool is limited. The demand for these positions is very high. So often where we gain in one plant or one area, we will lose in another. As a company, we have to be agile in order to get a candidate on site for an interview, assess their ability, and make an offer, I would say within 48 hours to compete with other opportunities that candidate might have. So speaking on behalf of AFNA Flexibles, our 35 plants nationwide, if we do land a candidate, we also have to fend off other companies from poaching that talent. This is our company continuously analyzing compensation in the market as companies incorporate automation to close their gaps in labor, streamline processes, and drive fiscal efficiencies. These positions will continue to be in demand and will continue to grow and drive increased pay scales. So it's safe to assume our other business segments, such as rigid, face the same issue.
Thanks, Jesse. So, John, from your perspective of what you see in your role at the ARM Institute, I suspect you're seeing much of what Jesse just described from other manufacturers across the nation. Can you add to what you are seeing and the other manufacturers are seeing, and how the ARM Institute is trying to help solve these problems through roboticscareer.org?
Sure, Lisa. We're definitely seeing a growing skills gap, and the need for students interested in manufacturing is critical. A report from the Manufacturing Institute and Deloitte recently found that 4.6 million jobs need to be filled in U.S. manufacturing by 2030. Manufacturers suggest that the largest gap in their workforce is currently for robotics technicians, including both maintenance and operators for the robots. Some very large manufacturers report they have over 12,000 open robotics technician positions at any time. Small manufacturers may have 12 openings, for instance. Either way, it's really crippling to their productivity and throughput. The ARM Institute as a whole has created a national resource with our experts across industry, government, academia, and unions to create, if you will, a competency framework and actual career pathways to help students understand the key skills they need to get into manufacturing positions and move forward with those careers. When you look at key elements of the competencies, such as electronics and controls, mechanical systems, robot programming, and so forth, mathematics is at the foundation for all of these in-demand careers.
Thanks, John. So, Jesse, you had mentioned that it's important to think about the long-term solutions for your staffing challenges. I know that Amcor has some creative solutions to building a bridge to the younger learners. Can you please share with our audience some of the programs that you're building to attract that next generation of workers?
Yeah, through our Amcor Cares Foundation, we actively seek partnerships with K through 12 and secondary schools to help support and fund STEM initiatives. Currently, we're partnering with a local technical college, Fox Valley Tech, to sponsor automation controls and process application training for teachers within the Fox Valley. We've introduced robot kits within 5 local school districts. Those teachers have the training, and then they go on to build that into their curriculum with their students, or put on summer tech camps at their locations for the kids. We also build these kits to have an Amcor theme involved with them, and then get them to kind of go into a situation or a case study where they have to solve a production throughput problem. And as we continue our focus through our company's foundation, we really want all these partnerships to serve a dual purpose. So not only supporting education and introducing students to a new learning experience that'll help them in their future, but also create a hopper and a funnel of talent for Amcor itself. The partnerships we're seeking are those that we can incorporate, like I said, brand recognition. And from the students' perspective, we really want them coming out of their learning saying, you know, my first experience with coding was with a cobot kit that Amcor bought for my school. Or in high school, we had automation techs from Amcor come to our class and helped us with our mechatronics course. The hope is that they remember these experiences, and then when they hit the labor market in the future, they will seek us out and want to come join our team. We've been working with a local charter school here in the Fox Valley to bolster their automation program and curriculum. And our targeted goal there is to provide courses that, when completed, certify the students in automation-focused microcerts. These courses are recognized by SACA and give the students resume-building credentials in automation by the time they graduate high school. Most recently, UW-Stout announced that they would be recognizing these microcerts, allowing for dual accreditation and allowing the students to continue their learning remotely within the UW system. So that means kids get introduced to cool things like automation through Amcor. They can visit and tour on site with our company, maybe join us in a co-op or a full-time role once they graduate, and then have credits that they can continue on and learn and build, you know, associates or some sort of certification through our UW system.
And Jesse, to build on that, it's really apparent that you work closely with the teams across your company, so you can really understand what are those key technical competencies that you are looking for. And congratulations on that approach. A lot of times the human resource department doesn't get involved. And you had mentioned in the advanced manufacturing, for example. Can you talk a little bit, just for a minute or two, about the importance of that cross collaboration and how it's helped you to be successful?
Yeah, I believe as your network grows, your message of job openings or opportunities is only able to be broadcasted further. So creating those cross-team relationships is definitely a win-win in my eyes. When you have a strong relationship with multiple teams across multiple business units, business segments, you can definitely leverage your contacts to act as another avenue for marketing when you open up positions. So as an HR manager in the corporate space, I sit on multiple functions in their interview panels. If we have a candidate that's not fit for their initial role they applied to for whatever the reason may be, I'm trying to vet out my other areas that I support in parallel to make sure maybe they'd be a good fit somewhere else. It's common we interview an individual for one role, and by the time it's all said and done, they get hired for another. At Amcor, we're a large network. We have plenty of opportunities for growth over many different career pathways here. So we don't see a career path as something linear. We encourage our employees to move in order to gain a well-rounded understanding of our business and accelerate their careers.
My goodness, John, I can really see why you've selected Amcor as a key partner for the work that we've been doing on robotics career. The processes and the practices that they're using, I'm sure were quite valuable. Can you describe for our audience how you've collaborated with Amcor and where we are on the functionality that you have changed as to the insights that you've learned through your work with Amcor, please?
Sure, absolutely. I just to reiterate, both working with Amcor and other pilot organizations, it's just be very clear there are many high-paying job opportunities available that leverage STEAM-related skills in robotics and manufacturing, and employers are looking, as was said, Jesse said, individuals with these qualified technical and soft skills. Connecting with the individuals is a challenge and a critical component. And we see, robotics career as an avenue for some of that connection to happen, and have tried to create mechanisms so that folks can do that. So I'd like to just show you very briefly what that experience would look like for individuals. So let me see if I share my screen here. This is the roboticscareer.org platform. This is a free resource that is available for individuals to take advantage of. And from a job seeker's perspective, there's even a path to help guide me along in that journey. Towards some of these careers we're talking about. So if I'm looking to find a job, I happened to be in Atlanta yesterday and someone was asking me and I said, yeah, let's take a look. So I'm interested in a full-time role that provides benefits, that is in Atlanta, Georgia. And these are some skills that I've learned that I've built. Now, these may look like very technical skills. Every one of these is informed by math and STEAM capabilities that one is learning in school, whether elementary, post-secondary. So these I've tagged this as a couple skills that I have already learned, and I've also have some soft skills here that I think are my technical learning ability, some of my problem-solving aptitude. I'm interested to see what's available for me. And you can see that it's given me a ranked match here of 3 different roles. All 3 happen to be in Atlanta. I get a little snapshot of what they are. And if I want to drill down in particular to take a look at what one of those are, I get more details, the job overview, the actual competencies that it's looking for. And if I'm interested, I can actually go apply for that. And here it is out on a job board, if you will. So that's just a quick avenue for connecting. I do have the ability, if I want to save that for a future, come back to that and look at that again in the future. And as I'm capturing all this information about what are my interests, it's all recorded. So what skills I have, what skills that I want to learn, for instance, I can capture those as well. And it can show me training opportunities as well. We have each weekly, right now there's 1,733 open positions across the country that leverage these skills that we're talking about. And these are all live jobs, and each of them well-paying opportunities for folks. So just gives you a sense of it. Relative to an employer's perspective, there are capabilities in here for employers to add jobs and customize them with the descriptions that they need that make it easy for them. So I was mentioning over 1,700 of jobs that are available even today. Since we're sharing this presentation today with Amcor, let's take a look and see what Amcor jobs may actually be listed on here as well. So I'll do a search of everything out there. And I can see, looks like there's 2 roles out here, electromechanical maintenance technician possibility, and there's a description of it. And boy, it tells me what competencies they're looking for, a little bit about the organization. And if I want to go apply, it'll actually take me right over to this particular one is posted on LinkedIn, and I can apply right there. So we've tried to integrate in directly to the job boards that employers like Amcor and others are using, and make it easy for people to find their path. I'm going to stop sharing, and back to you, Lisa.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so much, John. And again, Jesse, thank you for helping to inform that phase of roboticscareer.org. So I've just got one more question for both of you. If you've got one piece of advice for how our future workers can leverage STEAM applications to be successful for these exciting in-demand careers, what would it be? So Jesse, I'll let you go first, and John, you can bring it home after that.
All right. Yeah, like you said, STEAM applications, well, we've talked about, they're everywhere within manufacturing today and will only be more important in the near future. So they'll open doors that you may never known were possible. You could be hired on as a tech, develop in your career and go on to become an engineer. And maybe within 10 years down the road, you are moved into operations and are a plant general manager. The critical thinking that's taught through STEAM sets individuals up for success through multiple facets in the manufacturing environment.
Let me share mine with you, Lisa. I think just to build on, there's just a tremendous amount of opportunity out there that builds on these STEAM skills, if you will. I showed you over 1,700 jobs available even today. And I would encourage folks, if you want to even get some sense, whether you're an educator, a counselor, you can use that robotics career platform. It's free to help identify what some of these jobs might even look like and what skills are out there, just to give you a better flavor of what some of the possibilities are. But the foundations that are being learned today will open the doors to these capabilities that are out there.
Well, thank you. And thank you both for being here, Jesse and John. It's always a delight to get to work with you. And for our audience, we look forward to any questions that you might have. And if you don't have questions, but you want to connect with any of us, please do so. And we're happy to respond to any questions you might forget about today in the upcoming days as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
So it looks like we do have a question. Could you say a little more about the microcerts?
Lisa, do you want me to take this one, or
Sure?
Or Jesse,
Sure.
was something you wanted to say?
The microcerts retaining to kind of the curriculum through SACA, I assume, or is there different microcerts that you were going to talk about, John?
Well, I was just going to mention on the robotics career platform, there are over 16,000 training education programs that are listed. Some of them traditional degree-based, associate's degree, apprenticeships, but there are also certificate programs, which indeed could be micro certifications, if you will, individual programs. They're all listed as long as they're teaching one or more of the competencies necessary for career in robotics and manufacturing, whether it's a technician level or integrator level. As long as it's teaching one or more of those, that's what qualifies it to be listed on the site. Now, individual employers are also working towards with certifications with local providers, and Jesse talked about that in the video, but maybe you want to say more there.
Yeah, so we have kind of two pathways where we recognize we have technician cohort programs that people that are employed with us can go to the Fox Valley Tech and get associate's degree. Working now with like Amatrol vendor-based curriculum. There's automation, PLC interface, coding, Industry 4.0 curriculum that we're working with charter school in Appleton to introduce, and that being certified by SACA, being recognized within the state of Wisconsin. That'll, depending on the module or the course, kids can kind of operate at their own pace and gain micro certs and take those as an industry recognized credential. And that SACA community and kind of those guidelines or that standards built up from industry personnel to say that, this industry 4.0 course meets the criteria of what they need to be successful.
And Linda, if I can add on just from a general perspective of, if you will, the popularity of micro certifications. In the past, it was typically 2-year degrees getting into manufacturing. It's really important now for the ever-changing upskilling that we see in a lifelong learning journey. And so micro certifications and stackable credentials are becoming more of the norm because people need to reskill on a more regular basis. So both the training providers and the employers are leaning more towards this kind of pathway so that the employees, one, can get into the workforce faster and continue to change with the ever-changing pace of the technological evolution in manufacturing.